sage in the house and none of the windows were open. It's like, well, where's the energy going to go? You keep it open so the energy can go out and the smoke. Hello, darlings. Hello, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I am here to share with you some witchy tips on how to cleanse. This is something I'm asked a lot, so I thought, right, I'm going to make a video, keep it up here, so any beginners can refer back to this. This is just some hints and tips from me to you, how to cleanse, okay? Let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm Sarah, I'm that divination witch. I hope you stick around. The channel is a safe space where you can ask questions. I encourage people to help each other out in the comments. Nothing is silly. Everyone's different. We've all got different views and beliefs, and we all have to start somewhere. So help each other out. And if you like that, you know what to do. And if you want to support the channel further, I do offer readings. It's all linked below. I've got a website, Etsy, all of that. Also on Patreon, we're on the Year of the Dark Goddess. So we are stepping into our power. We are learning from our Dark Goddess queens. And yeah, it's a good old time if you want to check it out. Thanks. So this is in no particular order, although I guess it is in a way. So I'm just going to share with you how I do things, all right? Because you're going to ask any witch, how do they cleanse? How do they cleanse their space, their home, whatever? They're all going to have different ways of doing things because it depends on you. It depends on your practice. It depends where you are in the world as well sometimes. First and foremost, to cleanse is to be clean, is the way I think of it. So, your home. Now, I'm no neat freak, okay? I've got clutter everywhere sometimes. But sometimes a good declutter, a good tidy away helps. Because having mess, having clutter, it's stagnant energy. And the reason we cleanse as witches, as spiritual people, is to get rid of that energy, either bad energy, stagnant energy. We want to get rid of it. It's just like every week I clean the bathroom, you know, because if I didn't do that, the soap, the muck, the dirt would build up. There may even be mold in there. You never know. So think of it like that, but on a spiritual level. So keep your place clean, obviously to your own liking. You know, I'm not telling you all to go OCD here. No offense. I'm not telling you all to go all perfect. Nobody's perfect, but keeping a general level of cleanliness helps. And that's across the board in all cultures. That's why, you know, the Chinese have feng shui. I think it's the Chinese, sorry if it's not, where things are in a certain order, the flow of the house. It helps you feel mentally better as well. It raises vibrations in that regard. And a lot of cultures with their cleansing do floor washes as well. And that was a lot of the time in hoodoo, it was a thing. It's now been adopted everywhere, but you can have spiritual floor washes. So, you know, you're cleaning out your home, you get rid of vibes as you go, as well as you're dusting, as you're mopping the floor. You can make a spiritual floor wash even with something as simple as I'll do cologne. Some people use Florida water. I'm going to get into that in a second. You know, something as simple as that. Put your lemon in. That's a good cleanser, a good banisher. You know, put your different fragrances in. I can't think off the top of my head, but yes, floor washers are a thing as well. But that's the most important step, is to just be mindful of that. And you know, when you're seeing loads of piles of shit about, I'm guilty of it myself, you start to feel like shit. It's psychology. So that's the first thing I would tell you. Now, say you've done all of that, you may want to cleanse the spiritual energy from a room. Open all your windows and doors. Open them all, okay? Because I'll never forget years and years and years ago, when I was first brand new to this, me and my stepmom at the time saging the house, and none of the windows were open. It's like, well, where's the energy going to go? You keep it open so the energy can go out, and the smoke. You know what I mean? So, well, if it's smoke cleansing, the smoke, but it might not just be smoke. But yes, get all the blooming things open. And if you've got extractor fans as well, which I do, put them on, flow of air. We want the flow of air. Now, if you can smoke cleanse, I know this is dodgy for some people if you've got breathing issues or you've got pets that are sensitive to it. I mean, I've got a little pet. I am very cautious with it. I have it well ventilated. Sometimes you can't do that though. So there's other ways of cleansing, but we'll go into that in a second. But you can smoke cleanse with sage, not white sage. Some people will say otherwise. I personally wouldn't. If you are Native American, yes, go for it. If it's part of your culture, yes, go for it. If you've got permission to use it, go for it. Not everyone here is Native American. White sage was found in Native American practices, and it is now everywhere across the world. It's mass produced now. To my understanding, it was used in their own rituals as a medicine, a way of connecting with their own ancestors and spirits. Some people think it doesn't do that. We've all got different opinions, but for me personally, I wouldn't be using that. What I would say to anyone, use your own moral compass and what you feel is right. Research where the hell things come from, which we will touch upon in a sec as well with Florida water. If you feel okay, do it. But for me, no, I wouldn't use that. That's why I say that. But there are plenty of other variety of sage, like desert sage and blue sage and garden sage. Sage is a good herb for clearing energy. Rosemary does the same. Palo Santo, again, some people wouldn't use that because it's known as the holy wood. There is a nuance about that. There are other woods as well. There's one I've been using, Hinoki. I cannot pronounce it right. Smells amazing. It's from Japan. Again, some people might not use that though. It's not closed as far as I'm aware, but I've been using it up because I've had some. There are plenty of other methods out there. Just research different herbs and, things like that. And ask yourself, well, where does this come from? Look into the origin. And if you're feeling all right about it, fair enough. If you've researched or if you're part of that culture, you do you. But smoke cleansing is one good way of getting rid of residual energies. When you smoke cleanse, you go counterclockwise for banishing, clockwise for attracting. That's the rule of thumb generally with a lot of things in magic. I think that comes from the lesser banishing pentagram, which is something we'll talk about in a sec. But that's generally the consensus that I stick with. But as I go around the room, make sure I get in all the corners where you would think stagnant energy would linger, all the nooks and crannies, properly going through it. And when you're doing it, have intention behind it. Sometimes I use a little bell as well because sound can be used for cleansing. It can be used in itself for cleansing. But it's also good to disrupt the molecules, let's say, to shake things up, to get the energy out. So use your little ringer, use your little bell, shout, clap your hands. Use sound, drive it out, and get it out the windows, all right? Now, smoke cleansing isn't the only way. I've said sound. That's another good way of cleansing. Again, I would suggest having doors and windows open. I would go around the room, focus on those nooks and crannies, on the entryways as well, windows, door frames. Focus on where stagnant energy would be. Go around with your bells, your singing bowls, your chimes, whatever it is you've got. Clap your hands, put your intention out there, have your energy be strong and drive it out. It's like a sweeping brush, That's why witches had besoms, sweeping brushes, sweeping out energy. It is used in the craft. That's another way of cleansing too, but it's more ritualistic. You can make cleansing sprays as well. So you could use moon water. Different phases of the moon mean different things. I like to use full moon because that's with regards of releasing and letting go. So full moon water for me. You could put Florida water in it or eau de cologne. Now, you could put other things in it as well, like some essential oils, lemons even, like I've mentioned lemons before. There are loads of different ones. I would always say to research where it comes from, not just the properties of it, to see if it sits right with you. Now, this is why I'm saying it, and this is my personal opinion. Florida water is an American thing. It comes from eau de cologne, which is the European version. It's basically cologne. It smells nice. And we would use it as perfume. We would use it in many ways to freshen things up. That's the purpose of it. But back in the days of slavery, I don't like to say it, but yeah, they didn't have their spiritual means to use what they would normally use to connect with their gods and deities, and they were forced to adopt Christianity and things like this. Now, I don't know the whole ins and outs, but I do know hoodoo is derivative from that era in time in America, and that Florida water was picked up by people at that time and adopted into the practice of cleansing and like the spiritual practices, basically. Now, it's not closed per se, and for a long time I wouldn't use Florida water just for that reason, but I have recently picked it up again because I just felt, no, I feel okay using it. You can get Florida water soap, you see, and I've been using that to an extent, but I try and stick with something European. It just feels right to me because I'm English. Yes, I've visited America. To my knowledge, I don't have family there. You know what I mean? That's just for me. I stick with my roots. Now, you might be an American, and it's different for you. You're from there. So all I would say is just look into the origins of things. But I just felt it was right. Not many people talk about that. And Florida water is, sadly, I'm going to just spit it out and say it. It's one of these things that a lot of love and lighters have picked up on, and it's bloody everywhere, especially on Instagram. Aesthetic witches, let's say it like that. Look, nothing wrong with that, but they're not really, delving into, well, why? Just say, oh, this smells nice. Psh. Ask yourself why. That's what I'd always say. But yes, you can make cleansing sprays, clean the room, cleanse it in the same way you would anything else. Now, cleansing sprays can be used on the self as well, and I use one. I use it especially around my crown chakra. Keeping yourself cleansed it's good. It's not just about cleansing your home here. You can hold on to residual energy too. So cleansing the self is also important in spiritual hygiene. So cleansing yourself, so we've talked about cleansing your home and everything. How do you cleanse yourself? So you can use sprays on yourself as well. Make sure you dilute any essential oils because some can irritate your skin. So you can cleanse yourself. You can also have cleansing baths and showers. So ritual baths, spiritual baths, you can have not just cleansing ones, but you can have them for many different reasons. Glamour magic incorporates them. Curse breaking, something more heavy, hard hitting, let's say. Even just a self-love bath sometimes. You kind of, when you do a spiritual bath, have to sit and stew in the waters, in the juices of the bath to really have it absorb into you. Some good ingredients to use are Epsom salt. I use a lot of that. Epsom salt has good properties anyways for your muscles and your skin. I put some essential oils in. Some people use herbs as well. It depends on the type of bath I'm doing. But I'm thinking of cleansing. I've literally seen a time where I've cut a lemon up and shoved it in the bath with me as well. So look into your herbs, your fruits, your different things, your oils, and look into the origins of it. And spiritual bath, and you want to make sure it's all over you and you're really absorbing that energy and letting go as well, letting go of the energy. So for me, Florida water you can put in there too, or the eau de cologne, but I've been using the soap. You can get it even on Amazon at this point. It's everywhere. But I've been using the soap, the pre-made soap of Florida Water. Some witches make their own soap as well. If you get that advanced, I mean, I don't know how to make soap. Go for it, you know. You can make your own cleansing washes and things like this. Now, showers, not everyone has a bath, but you can have a cleansing shower. And what I would say if you're doing a shower is to scrub with intention from the top down. So from your head down.
Truly, I am cursed today. Let water wash the hex away.
You can use different salt scrubs. Sea salt scrubs are good. Himalayan salt scrubs are good. So yes, you can spray yourself. You can smoke cleanse yourself as well. So those are some ways you can cleanse yourself. Now, if you are wanting to delve more into the world of ceremonial magic, there's the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is used a lot in occult circles. It is something from the Order of the Golden Dawn. It is one of the most common rituals out there of high magic, ceremonial magic. It calls upon the names of God. I say it like that because it's the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is based heavily on Jewish mysticism and things like that. My battery's going to run out. Sorry, I had to change the camera battery there. So you could look into rituals like that one that are pre-existing from certain orders, but for me, I would only use that in case of an emergency sort of thing. It does work, but it doesn't really resonate with me. I've never been in the Hermetic Order. You don't have to be in the order to use it. It's open to anyone to use and utilize. But you've got to have belief in it, you know. And I don't know if I fully have belief in it, to be honest, even though I know it does work and others use it. But it's not my jam. Do you get me? There are other rituals out there that people have created that may be in some beginner-friendly books as well. What I'm going to do now is put on the screen some books that I have personally got with some, I wouldn't say they're all, you know, the only right answer here, but you might get some hints and tips from these books. They are helpful books for beginners, especially. Not just beginners though, but different sides of the spectrum as well on protection. Because I'm just talking about cleansing here, but really you shouldn't just be cleansing. You may need to banish sometimes. Banishing is like the next step up. It's if there's something or someone there or on you, attached to you, you know, it's kind of spiritual warfare in a way. And then once you have cleansed or banished, you know, you want to make sure you're protected, and you also want to attract good energy. So I can't cover every single facet of this. So here's some books on the screen. Get what you're drawn to and not. I have also heard that Jason Miller's book is good, but personally I don't have that book. So I can't say if it's good or not from personal experience, but there's some books. Go check them out. There's some even on the left-hand path there. So once you've cleansed, however, what do you want to do next? Okay, so you want to promote good vibes. This is where your incense and stuff like that comes in. Simmer pots as well, scented candles, nice things. So scents like lavender promote calmness and good vibes. Rose promotes love. Jasmine promotes sensuality and abundance. Cinnamon promotes abundance. You know, look into your different scents and things like that. And then you want to be setting up protections. So you're going to have different ways of doing this. I can't be explaining every way because we're all different. We've got different practices and things. But have wards up, have protection spells up, some physical, some not so physical. You know, I've got things in the astral realm like servitors that help me out. But that's going on to a different level of magic, a different sort of magic. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point. But you want to be protecting and warding. And some of the most basic ways you can do it is, you know, say you're cleaning your windows, draw symbols on the windows, draw runes, draw sigils, you know, protective symbols, amulets, necklaces for yourself. You know, you could even go as far as to write things on you, or if you're brave enough, get a tattoo. But be careful what you tattooing on you and what it means. For me, even just a pentacle, that was something. I've got Mother Strophalos on my neck, on the back of my neck. Yeah, little things like that as well. It's to ward it off, the evil eye, the Nazar, and the Hamza hand is some examples. Some may say that's cultural appropriation, some may say not. It's like the white sage thing. Look into the origins of things, and does it resonate with you? Is it okay with you? Is it not? Do you get me? So the steps you need to be taking are cleansing, banishing, warding and protecting. So that's some tips for cleansing from me to you. I hope it helped. Look up your own. Being forewarned is being forearmed, and keep on top of things, okay? I'm guilty of it myself. If you stop doing this, even just a quick cleanse every day, just a quick cleanse, keeping on top of things. It's just like spring cleaning, even having a cleansing bath. Have your regular salt baths even. It's going to help. Once you start slipping, negative energy sticks to you like glue, and it builds up and builds up. And I've spoke about it on the channel, about this wettigo. It is a thing, and it does build up, and it makes you feel worse and worse and worse. So this is a way of protecting yourself from the bad vibes. Okay, so I hope it helped. If there's anything else you want me to cover, let me know. Until next time, stay safe, stay witchy.